The thrills and the spills just keep on coming here at the Sahara Conference here in Dakar in this wonderful arena. US Monastir, they managed to win it in 2022 and now they come up against AS Douanes. Take a look at the starting five: Crawford, Marnawi, Chiwaya, Majok, Leani.
Well, just coming off a great performance, Chris Crawford, 31 points. He was 6 of 9 from the three-point line, alongside Marnawi's best performance on the offensive end, 16 points. Majok is going to shore up the paint, and Chiwaya has added some extra shooting from the perimeter, and it talks about his finding his five. This might be a five that he can lock in on, Coach Kirdani.
Well, let's now take a look at the opposition, AS Douanes, the homeboys here in Senegal. It's a big call, isn't it? It's Pabi Gay just talking about the importance of dealing with US Monastir, which is never easy.
Well, he's got to be happy that Chris Opekpa comes back in to shore up the paint. Dama Diakite did a fantastic work in his stead, but Baki has him, and he's back in the lineup. Haruna, and playing off Maduk Akesh, who has 17 points and 8 rebounds, and Jean-Jacques Boissy, who has been slightly disappointing. I'm talking about Ibrahim Atama. He had no points on 0 of 11 shooting from the field. He's got to give them some better output if they want to try and pick up a win in this game.
More drama continues here at the Dakar Arena as US Monastir, 2022 champions of the BAL, take on AS Douanes, last season's losing finalists.
And a chat with Arthur Majok, and he spoke about enjoying the game, the fact that they didn't look like they were enjoying their time on the floor, and that's part of the process of getting back some semblance of winning basketball.
Good work from Tomo, who tries to rise up, is picked up by Boissy. Haruna picks it up, tries to go around Leani, does well with Obekpa with the rebound, and it is Leani who picks up possession once again. Frantic start.
Great work on the defensive end from that man Majok as he just picks up the rebound on the contest against Obekpa.
Chiwaya to Leani, he's got a little bit of space there. It's Marnawi, he's hit 3-pointers from that position, but he decides to drop it into the path, but the shot clock is down to 0, and that's the third time today that we've had an issue with the players not looking at the shot clock.
It's not a great way to start if you're going to try and get into the flow of an offense. Ball distribution good, but it's got to be game awareness and shot clock awareness from experienced professionals.
Asha's the most aware person in this arena, so she's on the ball for absolutely everything. Finger on the pulse of everything, I think we can say.
I have my guard up, you can say, for sure. I'm looking out for you guys.
Thanks, Asha. We need you to look out for us. Here's AS Douanes in possession. Of course, they managed to get all the way to the final in Kigali, where they lost to Ahly. AS Douanes. Chris Crawford was, of course, playing for AS Douanes, so he comes up against former teammates, including this man here, Jean-Jacques Boissy. Crawford picks it up. He's got Marnawi outside, but he tries to go up himself. Marnawi with a rebound and the foul.
Well, there you have a look at 3 defenders all around Chris Crawford. He's got to make a decision. He decides ultimately to attack the rim. He misses, but right there to finish up is Marnawi. And there's the foul on Madut, but the call doesn't come in. Call does come in later on Marnawi.
Jean-Jacques Boissy is the playmaker for this AS Douanes side, and I think it's Chiwaya picked up the foul. AS Douanes, a lot of noise, there'll be a lot of support. We saw the support with that incredible Mike Fofana buzzer beater for AS Douanes that saw them beat Rivers Hoopers, the only team to do so here in this Sahara Conference. Another foul committed, but this time it's at the other end, and it is coming from Chiwaya.
And that was a surreal moment, the composure from Fofana, but you have a look here at Haruna as he gets to the top of the key, and there's contact from Chiwaya.
And it's his second.
Picks up his second foul.
In 1 minute and 38 seconds.
And talking about second, it's the second time that Lassad Chiwaya is starting for US Monastir. He brings a lot of defense into this starting side just to support Marnawi, who's known more for his offensive play.
Very physical player as well, Marnawi, and fully capable of getting in the face of absolutely everybody.
Shoaya, the Tunisian Defensive Player of the Year in 2019 and 2020 season.
US Monastir didn't manage to get out of the Sahara Conference last season. Let's see what they can do this time. Boissy going up against Crawford underneath the ring. And Obekpa trying to scramble and battle for the ball. So he's got a lot of tape and strapping around that right shoulder. He's obviously gone through the process of trying to get himself fit and ready to come out onto the court because, well, we know that the shoulders and the arms are used quite a lot in this game.
And that matchup is also why he would want to be on the floor against the big man, Majok. They are two colossal giants inside the paint and two of the most experienced bigs in the Basketball Africa League.
Crawford into the hands of Majok. Majok tries to spin, doesn't get his pass out to Marnawi. Taken forward there by Madut. Toma goes up. Oh, it's just rattled and come out, but nearly perfect on the radar.
His 19th three-point attempt. Toma has shot 4 of 19 now, and he continues to search for his shot from the perimeter.
Kanuni, Leani, oh, get out of there. And Obekpa, and I think it was coming down, so it's called as goaltending.
We haven't seen too many goaltending calls, to be honest, across the conference, but I think this is a fair call. Ball looked like it's on the downward path, and Obekpa won't get the block. US Monastir will get the 2.
Long-range shot over the top. 4 points for US Monastir, 2 for AS Douanes. Asher, I'm going to come to you because I'm always fascinated by the body language of Coach Kadani of Egypt, the man at the helm of US Monastir. He's a fascinating person to observe.
Well, he is a former player, and every possession he's reacting. I think he sees himself as if he was on the court sometimes.
Well, listen, a career that spans nearly 20 years. I think that as a former Egyptian international, he knows a lot about basketball, as we see Douanes pick up 2 more points and level up at 4-all.
He certainly is very animated courtside and one of the most animated coaches we've seen. And there are a lot.
Put it in, big time 3-pointer there from Ganawi in the corner.
Nice find, and again, good ball movement. It's looking good for US Monastir. Their flow on the offensive side.
Haruna mid-2, a mid-range 2 that doesn't fall. It's been defended by Leani and picked up here by Crawford. Crawford goes up. Crawford sees the ball come back out. Madut, Boissy slowing things down, waiting for the cavalry to arrive. From the big boys predominantly. Boissy, pull back 2. That doesn't go up onto the board. It's still a 3-point lead.
They are struggling from the field, AS Douanes. It's like there's a lid on the basket for them at this point.
Leani goes around, that's very strong play, and he draws attention. And it is going to be a foul, and he will go to the free throw line.
Puts the ball on the floor, and that's when you know Leani is locked in. We haven't seen him really attack the paint aggressively. This is a good sign, and building off his 12-point performance the last time out. You look at him playing provider, feeding Kanuni in the corner.
Yeah, and there's a big charge going through that man, Ibrahim Atoma.
Played season 3 for US Monastir as well, Ibrahim Atoma. So that matchup well known to Leani, and he's trying to make a read based on previous practices, and he gets a foul call. He had 25 minutes a game for US Monastir. He had 13 points a game for them in the season where they did not make it out of the Sahara Conference.
Obekpa waiting for Jean-Jacques Boissy, who takes over. Madut, a catch, fast acceleration, but it's a Majok. But look at that finish. But we'll see what the call is from this.
It was a highlight finish, but it's not going to count those contact just before, and that's on Crawford. And you have a look there as Madut gets inside, and Crawford will just pick up the foul call and deny the highlight there, Chris Obekpa.
But you know, it's good practice anyway.
It's important.
Well, you know, if he doesn't touched his shoulder and he's still okay after, you know, hanging off the rim. I think that he's in a pretty good place.
Might have been a little bit of a test from him just to see where he is. The 30-year-old listed at 208 is Chris Obekpa. Led the BAL in blocks in 2022.
Majok, Crawford. Crawford, of course, playing against you know, AS Douanes. It's always interesting to see the movement amongst these different players in the BAL. The ball gets touched and knocked out of bounds. It will be US Monastir will get possession with 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
The movement is interesting, but also the fit for the teams and how they adapt is also fascinating to watch as they get opportunities to continue to provide value for different clubs.
It's a very interesting battle there between Jean-Jacques Boissy and Chris Crawford. They're best of friends when they're off of the court, but just seeing them play here, of course, they're very professional, but it will be an interesting battle all night.
We love those little matchups. They all bring an added element of excitement, another layer in this wonderful, wonderfully flavored cake that we love to devour here. That is the BAL.
And look at Marnawi trying to split the screen. It comes off the foot of Toma. They keep possession.
Crawford trying to use that movement. He just kind of holds himself in mid-air before releasing the ball. It really is fantastic to see. Haruna, big shot for Haruna. Obekpa trying to get the rebound. AS Douanes miss out on vital points as they trail by 4. Marnawi, and well, he's there's a defensive Ibrahim Atoma is the player who doesn't move, and it's an offensive foul there.
But just great work again. You see Toma anticipating. He knows that Marnawi's coming right in. He had nowhere to go, and he commits the foul.
Timeout called. 9 points for US Monastir, 5 for AS Douanes. Time for a little break. 4:42 left in the first quarter. US Monastir, AS Douanes. It is well, the penultimate day of the BAL-Africa League. US Monastir 1 win so far, looking for their 2nd in 5. AS Douanes looking for their 3rd win in 5. There's so much at stake here. There's so much at stake. And US Monastir, they have the pedigree of champions. They've done it before with these two guys here playing together, Layani, Majok. Can they get the formula working tonight? We'll have to wait and see.
I think a key ingredient in that formula is Chris Crawford. We've seen him play in really big games, and he's going to be a big part of making sure that formula works.
Majok trying to go around Crawford, gets a little bit of a block, but not really because Majok is there. Obekpa! There's your statement dunk from the big man.
Madut playing provider. What a fantastic pass. Just slides it in underneath the defense and allows Obekpa to make a big statement with the dunk.
3 assists to 2. 2-point game picked up by Crawford. Layani swings it out. Well, there's a traveling call, and that's just that's not where you want to be. It's the same scenario. Ashraf Ganawi getting himself caught out.
You look at the pass inside between the two defenders, and Obekpa at that close range, you can just file a case of assault on the rim.
Toma. Obekpa, wait for more movement. Drops it into the paint, gets the ball back. A little bit of luck. Toma bides his time. Another traveling call in quick succession.
2 unforced errors from the 2 respective teams, and that's a little bit frustrating for the coaches, I'm sure, especially the turnovers in that nature.
Nine-7, 3:44 left on the clock. Crawford in possession, into the hands of that man, Ganoui, 27 years of age. Charge going through, but it's the block again. AS Douanes locking down the defense. Layani for 3. Oh, it goes in. Beautiful score, Layani.
Wide open. and they find Leani at the top of the key or top of the elbow, and he knocks in a long-range shot.
Very frustrating. Bekba just knocking over Marnawi, and it's an offensive foul. There you can see, just off the ball.
He doesn't even have an idea where Marnawi is, and look at the find there from Chris Crawford. Leani wide open, and he makes a long-range shot count.
Usher, we're looking for you. We know you're over there somewhere.
Just here spying on the US Monastir side. They're very content with the way they've started this first quarter, and even though Leani misses that basket there, they're confident that they're doing the right thing on the defensive side.
The queen of reconnaissance.
I see what you're doing, Robbie.
No, it's okay. I mean,
and I appreciate it, by the way.
It's okay. We parachute you in, you know, especially to go on enemy lines. And you're doing a great job.
Double O Usher.
Yeah, double O Usher.
Oh, wow. Is that after the double overtime we just experienced?
Whoa, double doubles.
Yeah.
Haruna, of course, when he goes up for those long-range shots that he likes to just drop in and float in from way out west, you know that there's going to be a bit of attention around him. You'll get a defender in his face every single time he goes to the free throw line, picking up a foul as he tried to produce one of those.
Two substitutions. Sees Fofana go off. I mean, Fofana come on for Toma, and now Diakite in for Bekba. I like to talk about Crawford, but Haruna is just as important for AS Douanes on the offensive end. If he gets it going, he can carry them all the way to a win.
Asher, why are you dressed in the colors of the Côte d'Ivoire?
Well, to be honest, I'm just celebrating the continent.
I love it. There you go. That's the right answer. It's not what you told me earlier, but
But it's interesting that, you know, you have an Ivorian
on the floor. Absolutely, yeah. In Mike Fofana, of course. Here's Boissy. Boissy. Manu trying to find, he gets tangled up there. Marnawi doing great defensive play just to get in his way. He goes around himself, tries to get it back out, and Haruna's got his arms up in the air because he knows that he's going to be the culprit on that occasion.
But we're seeing two different styles of calls in this one. And this more contact being called, and Haruna gets right into the body there of Marnawi, and they'll always plead innocence. I've never seen a guilty defender,
oh,
but
come on, you used to do the same, I'm sure. You right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, right. Right. Well, Marnawi's the player who goes up to the free throw line. He's going to try and increase his tally of 2. Leani's on 7, Kanuni on 5. We still haven't seen any points scored by Crawford with 2:11 left in the first quarter. He's been doing the distribution, of course, you know, and that's a role that he's got very good at. He makes more assists in this 4th season than he's ever had in the previous seasons.
Yeah, he's averaging 9 assists a game. Chris Crawford plays distributor, but can also turn it on. You talk about offense, though. Marnawi, nephew of Sliman Radwan, as you'll know, and they call him the successor. He's touted as the next generation player for this US Monastir team.
Fofana, the buzzer beater against Rivers Hoopers was outrageously good. It's been picked up as Ganawi going again, the traveling call. You know, you've just got to be so smart. Even if you've got trees around you that are trying to get you tangled up, you've just got to be smart.
And you see the words from Haruna there, because Kanuni had an open lane, had an opportunity to pick up the score. The travel call will be frustrating again.
Haruna Fofana drops it into this man here. We haven't seen him play any minutes, and Diakite is devastatingly good when he starts to roll.
There are very few back-to-the-basket players that are as good as Diakite is when he gets the ball inside, and it makes it look easy.
He moves well as well for a big guy. Here's Crawford. Crawford flings it out to Marnawi. Marnawi right over the top and made safe by the big man Diakite. Majok makes contact with Diakite, and there's your foul.
It is a very unnecessary foul there for Ater Majok, especially because he's one of the very key players for US Monastir.
Yeah, Majok just picking up his first foul. He hasn't got any points. Yeah, it's one of those silly fouls.
You really don't like to see that from experienced players, and right on the money, Usher, that kind of call and that kind of foul. It might come back to haunt him a little bit later in this game.
But look where Diakite goes because of the fact that they're on to 5 team fouls, straight up to the free throw line. I think we've seen enough of that in the last game where we had 5 fouls going into the first overtime, and then we went to double overtime. So every time there was a foul by APR, Rivers Hoopers went straight to the free throw line.
The free throw line is a part of the game. It's a part that you can really exploit. Diakite, a 63% free throw shooter, and 70% in his first in season 3, rather, for AS Douanes as well.
16-13, 1:13 left to play. 7 and 8 and 4 from 5 from the Jari line. Leani picks it up. He's top scorer so far with 7 points. Going to try and shoot big shots from the outside of the arc.
A holding foul will be called on Madut.
And they go straight to the free throw line as well, because that's the 4th foul. Just see it, he was just getting in the way of Gayaza. That's why he's going to be taking a couple of free throw shots.
Well, just dangerous times now. Fouls starting to pick up. Everybody's starting to get their name on the foul sheet. No one in foul trouble per se yet, but the frequency of the whistle is something that the players have got to pay attention to, because this one is being called a little bit tighter.
Little Deng in the house, of course, former giant of the NBA from South Sudan, now the head coach of South Sudan, of course, and looking to try and guide them in the right direction at the Olympics this next summer. He's here with his brother.
And BAL ambassadors are always courtside, taking in all of the great BAL action.
Mike Fofana, Diakite up against Gayaza. Gets past him, does really well. That looks too easy.
He uses his big body, faces up. He goes back to the basket, face up, and gets another big score.
35 seconds remaining. It's a 2-point game. US Monastir still ahead by 2. Your AS Douanes very much in it. Diakite's shifted the weight of expectation here. There's a traveling call by Gayaz. They got a chance to restore parity with 26.3 to go or move ahead.
Captain Gayaza this year has really struggled in the BAL. He's averaging 0.5 points. He's had 8 minutes on the floor. You have a look here. First struggles on the defensive end as he gets bodied by Diakite, and then travel on the other side.
See if Wasi can lift the roof off this arena. Haruna tries to get rid of Ganuni, and it's where there's another travel call. And these are the moments where you just think you've got to erase these little elements from your game if you want to move forward.
I think that's the 6th traveling call we've seen combined from both teams. Just too many in this first quarter.
Tukori coming back on, picked up once again. He's got 10 seconds to try, and it goes high over the top. Crawford is not that tall.
Yeah, he recognizes the situation a little bit too late. Pass comes too late. It's a poor pass. It goes right out of bounds. He hands the ball right back to AS Douanes.
George Williams on the floor as well. Here he is, Alkali and Duor. What options they got? Well, Fofana, he tries to go up, releases the shot in time, but it doesn't go in. And there we have it, the end of the first quarter produces 17-15, US Monastir lead AS Douanes. We'll be back after a break. 2-point lead for US Monastir here, Basketball Africa League, here in the Sahara Conference. We are we're approaching Judgment Day, which is tomorrow, regarding who will really go through, because it's going to go to the wire. All we know is that Rivers Hoopers will be going through, but we don't know which position so far.
And this scenario here, if US Monastir don't pick up a win, they literally take themselves out of contention. So it's a do-or-die game for US Monastir. AS Douanes can advance their chances and improve the opportunity or their probability of getting a ticket or booking a ticket to Kigali.
Opportunities, probabilities, Q, come on. I like it. Usher, we're coming over to you. What's good to hear from the bench?
Coach Pabigay really frustrated that AS Douanes finished 2 minutes without scoring. He wants them to move that ball very meticulously until they can find an open shot. He feels like their shot selection is not exactly what he wants.
Yeah, there's Crawford going up. That's a wonderful score, and they'll get the first points of this second quarter. And it's a 2-pointer for Chris Crawford.
Well, also his first field goal, and that's his versatility. He's just able to create some separation and pull up and hit.
And the ball rolling out. It's going to be Diakite and AS Douanes who have possession. Diakite, very important player for AS Douanes, especially in the paint, just the way that he marshals that zone and makes sure that he is in a good position to score. Very smart player.
120 kilograms, trying to keep him out the paint is hard work.
That's a great score indeed. Perfectly positioned, and he puts it in for Fofana quite comfortably and simply.
He has a different swagger after hitting that all-important buzzer beater, and there's a lot of confidence now in his play on the floor.
Williams missing the two. Haruna into the corner. Madakech trying to cut through South Sudan. Has the ball picked up by Doucouré. Doucouré leaves it for Ganouni, goes up for the layup, and the 2 points are in the bag. 21-17, they move 4 points ahead.
Like his pace up the floor, Ganouni, he gets up the floor in a hurry and is able to finish on that transition opportunity.
An invisible conveyor belt takes him into the slipstream. Nicely done, and Diakite getting the points there again. So in fact, they're choosing the big boys to pick up the points.
They don't have a coverage option right now inside. Gayaza is being dominated by Diakite inside.
Wasi taking a rest as the pass, and there's Diakite just getting in front of Gayaza, but there is a little bit of contact on him. He bumps into him, as you can see, hence the foul. Gayaza goes to the free throw. No, they just get possession on the offensive.
And back the other side, you see the dominance and the size of Diakite. Got every reason to smile. He's actually winning that matchup against Gayaza.
2-point game. George Williams going through. That's good, strong attacking play, that is, from that man, Williams.
Well, guided all the way and guarded all the way by Madud, but nothing he could do was Williams just powers straight up. And the State Fair Community College and Wayland Baptist graduate gets this bucket to go. Vastly experienced George Williams. 4 continents, 15 countries where he's played his basketball, and he brings all of that into the play as he picks up a 3-point play.
I bet there's one continent they didn't play in, though. Go on, name it, Usher. Antarctica. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Crawford for 3!
He hits one, and confidence exudes, and he's a streaky shooter. He's got that look in his eye, and he hits another big shot from the 3-point line. And once he gets going, the BL's all-time leading scorer needs no second invitation.
Perfect score, that is. Crawford 26-19, timeout. We'll take a break. Back here in the Dakar Arena, there's a real buzz here in this Sahara Conference. 27-19. AS Douanes looking to try and bring the buzz back into their game, which has been quite complicated. Usher, we're coming over to you. You pick up anything from that timeout?
Yeah, Coach Kirdani wants them to continue putting pressure on AS Douanes. This is why they have a double team on the inbound and a full court press. He wants US Monastir to continue driving into that paint, pick those fouls, but also really extend this lead.
US Monastir being disciplined in the first couple of minutes, not picking up a single foul as Al-Khali and Dor goes. That's great play, that is, from Ganouni. Look at the touch that he gets to just win back possession.
They're trying to ride this run, US Monastir, and a lot going right for them to do that. They steal back another possession, an opportunity to extend their lead.
Biggest lead so far for US Monastir, up to 8 points. George Williams trying to marshal on the floor. Ganawi into the middle it goes, picked up by Doucouré, Malian international. Williams, shot clock down to 3, holds it, tries to get it. Oh, it's been, they get it back though, back to 14 seconds. Ganawi, and Crawford says, let's just calm it down, give it to me. Picks it up, nicely done. Doucouré, get out of there. How about that from Diakite?
Well, that's excellent anticipation from Diakite. You know, the ball comes in, they dish out, he tries to come on the helpless side, sees Doucouré coming in, and right there he is. Foul call, though.
Yeah, it was good anticipation, but you've got to get yourself on the ball. He charging in, but his presence in the paint at both ends of the court is going to be super important for AS Douanes tonight. Just as Usher Kumagisha's presence on the other side of the court is super important to everyone tonight.
I'm playing defense, I'm playing offense. I'm just trying to set you guys up.
I think, well, you're not as animated as Coach Kidani. That's one thing that, you know, you haven't pulled off just yet.
Not yet, Coach Kidani. That is part of his identity. He's always animated on the sidelines, but it's important for him to keep that pressure on his players. They need to deliver. If they get that victory today, it could go a long way in determining if they can make it to Kigali for the playoffs.
Coach Kidani prowling the line like an Egyptian fennec at the moment, and very eager to see his team seize control. Diakite, lovely little tip-in. Good work that is from Mada to make sure that Diakite's effort was drained.
He is beasting inside the paint right now, Diakite. Excellent work from Madud on the putback.
Diakite up to 8 points, leading the scores for AS Douanes. Oh, they've managed to pick up possession, and it's an important one as well because they don't want to hit double figures against the US Monastir as Brassi's back on the floor. Drop it into the path of Diakite. He's dealt with Gayaza before, but when he's being double defended, it's making it complicated. That is massive coming in from Doucouré. He's done it before, and he does it again.
Excellent defensive work. As Crawford traps, gets the ball up, and then feeds Doucouré for the dunk.
El-Khalian Dor down into the corner. Mike Fofana goes up, and it just goes over the wrong side. Crawford getting the rebound. Oh, that is just brilliant, Doucouré. Look at Crawford, it's all in the head. Smart, intelligent passing there from the American.
Call that dime dishing, and this time with the left hand, Crawford cuts up the defense. Doucouré finishes again.
Boissy charging through, that's a big score for AS Douanes. They simply needed that.
They absolutely needed that. That's a big score from Boissy, and he tries to bring a run, another scoring run, a mini run by US Monastir to it. And look at the work from Crawford. He gets his hand on the ball, coming in on the help. And then you have a look at the two dime drops to that man, Doucouré. Amazing.
Floats in and hits the paint like a tornado.
Jumps up off a trampoline to get up that high.
Doesn't need it.
No, he doesn't.
33-23, and Boissy to the free throw line. Obekba back on the floor, tries to get the rebound. It's George Williams in possession, and trying to extend that 10-point lead. 5:34 left to play. 55% in the field, US Monastir. Only 36 for AS Douanes. Williams, or Leani,
keeps it alive.
That's really good play. Chasing absolutely everything.
Hustle from floor leader Firas Layani. He's a very important fire and spark piece for the US Monastir offense as he keeps that possession alive.
You've got to be hungry for possession, and he looked like he was happy to go and chase that. That's Williams for a big three-pointer.
When a team is functioning well, you can find different pieces that will add to the offense, and Williams wide open knocks open that shot.
Look at that from Boissy. Boissy, well, if you go on a slalom run like that, you won't stop him. He is tricky to deal with. Great score from Boissy.
Finding gaps in the defense as he cuts in between the seams, Jean-Jacques Boissy.
I don't even think that there was any gaps in the defense. It's just the way that he meanders. Crawford for three. Big bucket again in the corner.
Asher spoke about it. He had a couple of words for Boissy, and just after that, they are definitely going at it.
There's a lot of tension there from Chris Crawford.
Carry on Usher. So the floor's yours. The whole floor is yours.
Well, I'll tell you who owns the floor. Chris Crawford.
Yeah, 8 points and looking very strong. You know, and he does like big games, there's no doubt about it. But I know someone else who does as well, Boissy. Williams picks the ball up, goes for a three for himself, just on the edge of the arc. There is contact. And that's another big moment. Oh, there's something else that took place, I think. Let's have a look at this. So Maddock goes straight into Williams, but I think there was maybe Leani. No, maybe not. Maybe that's just exactly what happened. Maddock picks up the foul. Williams goes to the free throw line.
Absolutely. And Williams will get a chance now at the charity stripe. And you know, while the referees do sort this out, they signal 2 shots for Williams. We talk a lot about the matchups with the bigs, but this matchup at the point guard position between Crawford and Boissy, unreal. They have something to say to each other every time they are close, every single time.
Well, it's an interesting, you know, friendship, isn't it? Because you mentioned it, you know, Usher, you said good mates off the court. On the court, you know, there's a little bit of, it's not trash talk, but it's like sort of, you know, it's digging, it's the provocation game, isn't it? You know, it's sneaky.
It is part of the game of basketball, and you just have to understand that they're trying to both win the game for their teams, but after this, they'll definitely be hugging and high-fiving.
3 shots for Williams. Of course, the foul just outside of the arc. There he is, nailing the third. Looking very good from the strip.
He gets all 3. Up to 9 points now for Williams.
And that's the kind of shooting that Boissy needs to try and attempt. Just make sure that it goes in. The 3 points are very needed now. We've got 3:50 left in the second quarter, and they're 15 down as Williams tries to extend it up to 17. That's a fantastic score. Whatever they do turns to gold.
He's now the leading scorer on the floor with 11 points, George Williams.
Leani, Boissy does really well just to get in the way, otherwise that would have been drained by Leani. He says he didn't hear anybody calling out to him that he was being chased down by Jean-Jacques Boissy.
Danger time for AS Douanes. They've got to keep the score close. As US Monastir's offense threatening to take this lead up and above or around the 20-point mark.
And, timeout has been called as US Monastir have a 17-point lead. Pabi Gay, the BAL coach of the year 2023 with AS Douanes, needs to talk to his troops, and that'll give them a chance to try and find some kind of a solution to this US Monastir team, who are completely different in the way that they look since they managed to get their win in Game 4.
They've just been completely different. And you know, again, I go back to the conversation with Adri Majok, and he said it is. He said that we found something, found a little bit of joy. You know, we forgot to enjoy playing the game. And in the first 3 games, we got frustrated with a lot of things that we shouldn't have. And once you find the simple things, the fundamentals, and one of them is just remembering to enjoy the play the game, because it's a privilege to play the game of basketball. They've unlocked something in their offense.
No, but it's, you know, and then we can see Crawford there, 31 points in his last game, 8 here, 50 in the field, the assists, 1 more assist already. That just tells you that he's now become a really good team player, and he's 100% with the 3 points.
Well, his best average assist-wise in his entire BAL career, 9 assists a game, but also really dangerous from the 3-point line. He was 6 of 9 in the win against APR, and now he is 2 for 2 from the outside, and he's looking locked in.
3:33 left to play in the second quarter. Usher, coming over to you.
Well, there's no tactics that have been discussed on the AS Douanes side. It's just Papi Gay disappointed.
I mean, he's got the right to be disappointed and frustrated. That makes complete sense. They've got to get some points. They've got to find something that will trigger a reaction. And they need not just a small reaction, but a tsunami reaction to get themselves back into this. Haruna, we haven't even seen him, but now we do. That's a big score for Haruna, who moves up to 6 points.
If they need a reaction, he is a catalyst, and he can certainly get it going on the floor. An important score from Haruna.
Here is Crawford. Drops it into the hands of Williams. He's unchallenged when he moves into the arc, into the danger zone. Drops in the 2.
Crawford will continue to ride him. He's having a word with Williams. They're going to try and find him the next couple of time downs, I have no doubt.
It's another assist. Haruna around Leani. Back out to Boissy. That's a great score, isn't it? That's a wonderful shot there coming in from Boissy. Moves up to 31, and Boissy up to 6 points.
He's playing with a lot of intent. He certainly is taking the matchup with Crawford personally.
2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. Crawford goes around, picks his spot off the metal, made safe by Boissy. They trail by 15. They need to get themselves back into this. AS Douanes. It's been picked up by Toma. Toma backs into George Williams. And the foul is on Williams, who was shifting his body at the time.
And I want to see a little bit more of this from the big man as Crawford comes in there, but you see him establishing position well, and let's look at Boissy making Leani dance as he pulls up and makes that shot.
Boissy in possession. 4 fouls for AS Douanes. It's been set up. Oh, he just couldn't deal with it. That was so unlucky for Obekpa. The battle continues. Leani, Crawford, quick movement of the ball. They shift it down into the corner. Shawaya picks it up, tries to get the pass to Leani, and it will be AS Douanes. But more importantly, we've got a player down in the paint, and it is Doucouré who's holding his ankle.
Too many times we've seen guys go down, and this was just that moment. Boissy steps on the ankle of Doucouré in the challenge for the basketball, 50-50 ball. Oh,
he hits it, doesn't he?
It looks like a clash of knees as well, so yeah. there's quite a bit that happened in that collision.
Because he's got stable footing at the time, Doucouré, and he's just shifting a little bit, and then of course we see Boissy coming through. There's the contact, and he's knocked out of his normal position. And they're not taking any risks here. It's carry him off, get him with the medical staff, and see what they can do.
Well, he had 6 points, did Doucouré before that moment of collision. And you never like to see a player carried off, because that's not a good sign in terms of the probability of him returning to the game.
It is a tough moment there for Doucouré. He almost did not sign for US Monastir because he had lost his nephew, a son to the brother, but he was convinced to come and play in the BAL and pay tribute to the nephew.
Thank you, Russia. Let's hope that he's going to be okay. Get the medical staff treating him, and hopefully we'll see him back a little bit later on, or for the final game tomorrow. We'll see. AS Douanes trail by 15, 1:25 left in this first half. Obekpa against Majok. Shot clock down to 6. Haruna goes high off the glass, but it's a foul against Haruna. He goes straight to the free throw line, and which is logical. Majok saying, yeah, there's a bit of traveling there. The only traveling he was doing was that little journey into the paint.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the play of US Monastir has done is it's been able to keep the crowd out of it as well. We've seen how that can spark the offense of AS Douanes. They continue to just make buckets and keep the crowd quiet. And you look at Crawford, or Chawaya rather, right there in the space, and commits the foul.
Third foul for him. Haruna misses the first. Every point is important as they try and chew back into this lead.
His 4th season in the Basketball Africa League, FAP, AS Saleh, ABC Fighters of Cote d'Ivoire, and now he is with AS Douanes of Senegal. 31 years old, he's been valued by almost every every single one of the BAL teams that he's played for, because he continues to score the ball at a prolific rate.
And a timeout that's been called here with 1:14 by Coach Kidani, the Egyptian man at the helm of US Monastir. AS Douanes really have to find answers. They've got to find points, they've got to find answers, and they've got to lock down that defense, because US Monastir are basically doing whatever they want. Whenever they waltz into the paint, they've got numerous options, and pretty much everybody's scoring points tonight.
They certainly are. When you heard the interview from Coach Kidani at the start of the game, he said that the game was played close and they made too many errors down the stretch in the fourth quarter. That'll be playing in his mind. So if he can keep the game at a distant level, or keep the score as it is, he's going to be comfortable knowing that his team has a little bit of leeway in the fourth quarter.
Well, let's take a look at George Williams, the point guard, of course. 13 points this game, just 2 in the last. And look at in the field, 57%. A couple of assists and a couple of rebounds. Doing well so far.
100% from the three-point line for that man, Williams. 19.2 minutes. He has averaged just 1 point, 1 rebound, and getting his numbers up on the ability to score the basketball here.
Yeah, he's a former USM Algiers player as well, played in Lebanon and in Egypt for Al-Ittasalit. And I think that, when you look at him, he's also played in Mongolia, of all places. But, the fact is that he's got versatility, hasn't he? And he's a great player to bring off the bench, because he's a scorer, but he's also a very good team player.
Yeah, he's a versatile. He had 16 points, rather, against AS Douanes in their last outing.
Haruna drops it up. Well, in any case, there is contact, and as we can see, Dakar getting taken away. He goes straight to the free throw line, and he gets 3 shots because it was outside of the arc.
And you see how you try and get the crowd involved. Haruna, presence of mind to get the shot off under the contact of Crawford. And Crawford will pick up his second foul. He'll be aware of that. Haruna had another chance to get to that charity stripe, all-important charity stripe.
They'd be frustrated it wasn't a 4-point play. Asha, they feel the tension in the air, but can AS Douanes clamber back?
Yeah, they have the quality to do that, but US Monastir continue to put pressure on them. The coach has given very specific instructions, Kirdani. He wants them to go into the halftime break with a 15-plus point lead that could give them an upper hand going into the second half of the game.
Well, as Haruna tries to move into double figures and making an 11-point game with 1:08 left to play, there's and George Williams going to the bench. It's up to AS Douanes to try and defend, and go in a positive way.
Haruna's having his lowest output offensively for any team, 16.5 points, but that's not too far off his average, which is 17, 18, and 19 a game. So he's still giving more or less his output, but not at the peak level.
Crawford under a little bit of pressure. Ball goes back into the corner. Marnawi for 3. Gets it back, drives in, swings it out to Crawford. There's the tussle and the battle. He still keeps hold of the ball. It's down there, and there is a foul, and it's Haruna who gets tangled up with Crawford on the ground. And of course, that means he goes straight to the free throw line, because they're on 4 team fouls.
The ball stays attached to his hand in between the 4 defenders. I don't know how he managed to control that. There's just too many hands in there as he turns away, and that foul on the ground, I think, is what they eventually called. Second foul for Haruna.
You see the communication there between Kidani and Leani, Usher? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of communication.
There is a lot of communication indeed, but Coach Kirdani, if you know him, his style is really to talk and continue to advise his players. He wants them to stay in the game and play with a lot of intensity.
Yeah, he does bring out the best in his players, They just need to keep disciplined, and, they're fired up from 100% right through. It's a 13-point lead, and it's 35 seconds left to play. Toma goes up. Haruna picks it out of the sky and goes for a shot himself. No, Toma. Shot clock down to 7 seconds, needs to get a screen. Oh, he's just got in the way, Leani does brilliantly. Can they get a shot in? Crawford trying to use the glass. They don't manage to get the score. They got to be wary of the clock. Last 7 seconds. Boissy's got to keep an eye. He's got to go for his shot. It goes high. And it's the end of the half. There's no more points that are going up onto the scoreboard. And it is US Monastir 48, AS Douanes 35. Highlights coming out of the first half in a minute when we come back.
The minute they get the crowd in it is when the minute it can change everything on the floor. We are all affected by the momentum in the crowd and noise and everything that can happen on the floor. And I think it can play a factor if they get it right in the second half.
It's all about the chain reaction, but it doesn't connect. Thomas Diakite, it's okay. They'll go back. They'll understand. It would have been a great move.
But that's not how you want to start. That's the opposite way of how you want to start this second half and third quarter.
Crawford. And a little bit of pressure there. Here is Majok. Ganawi. Shot clock down to 3. Got to go for the shot. It's Majok. It's short. Diakite's there. So in-your-face defensive game, which is smart.
But that's how you want to start defensively. You force their big to take a contested three.
Thomas goes up. Oh, he can't get the score, but he does draw attention from Leani. He'll pick up his first foul.
Well, trying to work his size on the inside. They feed Thomas as he seals Leani, and he turns right into the body there of Majok. He gets a shot up.
And just a quick update. Doucouré is back on the US Monastir bench, but he's here to support his teammates. He will not be playing any role in what's left of this game. He actually doesn't even have a shoe on his right leg.
Right, okay, well that's a sign that the ankle has a little bit of damage. Let's hope that it's not serious. We'll see if he comes back for the final game on Sunday afternoon as we wrap up the Sahara Conference, of course. 48-35, still a 13-point game, still no points scored since we started the third quarter. Here is Leani. Leani going through. Leani, oh my, that is a super big dunk that was.
Well, we have not seen Leani take off too many times in this conference, and that time it's like a fighter jet attacking the rim for us, Leani.
Crikey. Rocket Man has arrived. Here we go, Diakite. Gets the second chance, goes high off the glass. Leani makes it safe. Crawford has it in his hands. 15-point lead. Williams dances, tries to get out. Oh, Thomas just saying, swipe, no way. SWAT team in the house.
He telegraphed the move inside, and Thomas cleared him out entirely.
Fofana, the battle. It's been knocked out of bounds. And AS Douanes hoping that they get possession back.
You look at the work from Leani. Take off and take that poster. His first one in his BAL.
I thought Diakite was hanging off his back as he went in. That was such a strong, decisive, aggressive charge through from Leani. Absolutely quality.
Maybe signs that finding his flow amongst this US Monastir offense. That's a definite sign, actually.
Haruna. Fofana. 15 points. Need to get points. Majok, you can't make a pass that's going to get a little bit close to Majok.
This is a different matchup. It's not the Gayaza matchup that Diakite had earlier. Majok a little bit more skilled on the interior and a tougher matchup for Diakite.
Still have possession. Fofana will try and find one of his teammates. 4.8 seconds left on the shot clock. We've seen teams miss out on getting their shots in. Boissy goes up. And there's contact, and he'll go to the free throw line. Crawford will pick up another third foul, which is serious, and he gets 3 shots.
They keep calling for a replay. The replay can't be used in this instance for what they are trying to have a look at. And once the foul is called, it's not one of the replay triggers. And you have a look at Boissy just get out.
And that's exactly why the referee, Tyler Markovic, is not having it. He's not having it.
Yeah, the thing is that, you know, he wasn't aware of where his legs were landing. He just landed, he planted his feet on the ground. Crawford was ghosting around it, but there was contact.
He got into his space, and they always talk about a cylinder. You see him get right in there. Maybe a harsh call, but the call was made nonetheless.
You know, and Tyler Markovic will just explain why, and I'm sure that Chris Crawford will understand. The thing is, there's added frustration for him because it's his third foul. So, I mean, you know, he's going to try and address the situation, but he walks away and he has to just accept it and move forward. Coach Kadani will tell him what he needs to do now. And he's got his hands up saying, just keep calm, you're going to be okay.
Well, Boissy has missed 2 free throws, so, you know, they say in basketball, the ball doesn't lie.
The ball doesn't lie. Asha, is that what they say where you come from as well?
I am definitely on Q's side. I do not want any problems with Q.
Leani, Crawford for 3. The big shot goes up. Safely in the hands of Diakite. Flung out to Fofana. Boissy. Haruna! He gets that 3-pointer. It's a big shot from the man from Niger.
Well, long-range sniper locked in. Haruna laces it from downtown.
It's an 11-point game. They are just 10%. That's first ever 3-pointer in 10 attempts. Williams gets his chance to go high, and it's been made safe. No one's going for the rebound. Fofana. Boissy. A chance, a glimmer, an opening. Haruna, 5 seconds remaining, got to get your shot in. Boissy goes high, just goes over the top, and Madjok is there to make it safe. Haruna just getting in the way, making life complicated for Ganawi. It's Williams. Down into the corner. Madjok. Crawford will take over. Crawford into the hands of Williams. Williams, he goes through, he tries to charge. Well, that's Diakite. You won't get past Diakite. That's like a, you know, it's a no-go route.
It's surprising that US Monastir trying to break down this 2-3 zone have gone into trouble twice.
That's a great score as well. The pass there into the hands, the big boys doing the damage.
And now they turn defense into offense as they pick up that steal, and a Diakite damages inside.
Have you been talking to the AS Douanes coach, Asha?
Yes, Coach Ibabe, he really wants them to play with more intensity, and this run just now could do them some good, AS Douanes.
Yeah, I think you've been giving them some of that smart and shrewd advice as well. I'm pretty sure about that.
Thank you, Robbie. I see you.
I see you. Haruna, it's a 9-point game, and it's all opened up. Fofana has the ball ripped out of his hands by Williams.
Well, this run from AS Douanes highly important for 2 reasons. They're making inroads into that significant lead, and the crowd is starting to get in it, and that's going to be a factor. They look at the ball coming off the leg of Fofana, but Williams will get called for the foul.
50 points to 41, 5:32 left to play in the third. We'll take a break. Is 15:41, and we're in the third quarter, coming out of a timeout. Usher's just on the dance cam a minute ago, just so that everybody knows, but you missed it. You were great.
Well, honestly, I'm trying to catch up with the fans. There's, you know, the song that the DJ is playing, Coup de Manteau, that is very popular in West Africa, and the Senegalese fans are just running away with it.
Love it, absolutely love it. We're loving what's happening here because there's a turnaround. I can see you, Asha. There's a turnaround scenario as we see Fofana go up. He nails his first of 2 shots, and they've just they've hacked down this lead. It was 17 points at one point, down to just 8.
And it's a 7-2 run just before that free throw, making an 8-2 run to start out with this third quarter, important one for AS Douanes.
And the big boys coming to the fore with Ibrahima Toma and, of course, Diakite. It's up to US Monastir to try and react to this, because at the moment they've kept the lid on the roof of this Dakar arena. Whether or not it will blow off, if there's an even bigger run from AS Douanes, we'll have to wait and see. Marnaoui goes for a three. Ganawi does really well with the rebound. Crawford down into the corner. Shot clock down to 9 seconds. And there is a little sneaky foul there by Toma. And that will be their first foul. And they will get possession back.
Really a shift in defense that has rattled US Monastir a little bit and changed their offensive rhythm. Since they've gone zone, they haven't really figured out a way to break it down yet.
Down into the corner, Ganawi goes up. As again, Marnaoui out wrestles Toma, does really well. Crawford just pushed back. Shot clock down to 7. Leani goes into the paint. As Ganawi goes up, tries to use the paint. It's been flicked forward. Leani with very safe hands makes it his own. Goes up and he charges through. And is that an offensive foul? It looks like it is.
And that is what is called on the floor. You're taking it aggressively again. Firas Leani, trying to measure where to go, runs right into his former teammate Ibrahima Toma, and he picks up the offensive foul.
Well, not the right person to charge into, you know, especially when he looks like he's going to be a little bit dormant and cemented, feet down on the ground. 50-43. Majok goes to the bench. Gayaza comes on. We've seen that Gayaza's had a few issues dealing with Diakite in the paint.
He has had some issues, and I think that might be the place they go on the offensive side here at AS Douanes as they continue to build on their scoring run.
Asha, what's going to happen?
Well, just looking at the tension there in the paint between Gayaza and Ibrahima Thomas, it's going to happen on both sides of the court. And you can see that AS Douanes have lost the possession, but it is the pressure that US Monastir are putting on AS Douanes.
Look at that, Leani getting tangled up with Toma. More importantly, if you actually look at the foul count, it's 4:30 left in this third quarter, and they've got 4 fouls. So this could be a good time for AS Douanes to try and, you know, if they draw another foul, then they'll go to the free throw every time, and there's an instant afterwards.
They just have to continue to build and play the way that they have been.
It's exactly that. There's Marnaoui going up. First of all, they've got to get the points. It's been picked up here by Fofana. Fofana goes up for a big long range shot! 3 points, Fofana! At it again, the Ivorian.
Well, now the run truly is on, and they are back within 2 possessions.
Marnaoui, that's a traveling call for Marnaoui. That's a double dose of happiness and joy as you can hear the crowd reacting to that scenario. Coach Kadani, meanwhile, says, calm down, guys, calm down.
Yeah, and look at Fofana as he steps into a 3-pointer. Fluid in transition, nothing but net from that man, Fofana.
Basketball is a game of runs, and AS Douanes are back in it. It is a 4-point game, and that's exactly what Coach Papi Gaye wants them to do, to maintain that momentum as they go towards the end of this third quarter.
It's just the second 3-pointer that they've managed to get. Another chance, Madden. And that's a foul, Gayaza on Diakite.
Well, now everything starts to go against you, and it's just the way that the run works on the floor as the crowd now really get behind AS Douanes.
5 team fouls, and as you can see, it's having a knock-on effect here in this Dakar arena. Diakite to the free throw line, and as I said, 3:34 left to play, and 5 team fouls.
Important in terms of stopping the clock and allowing them to make inroads into the lead. Ball going to be swapped out due to some moisture, and you look at the battle inside. Diakite gets tied up with his own teammate, and yeah, that little touch from Gayaza. Actually, Crawford who picks up the foul, so he goes to 4.
You're absolutely right. That's a very good call, that is, and that is serious, very serious. Look, Crawford's just wandering back to the bench because he knows that that's massive, isn't it? It's massive.
It's a huge moment. He is their floor leader. He's the guy that can help spark the offense, and this is a big opportunity for AS Douanes.
But Usher, we've seen this tactically speaking. So one of us too. Tactically speaking, we've seen players who have been fouled. They picked up too many fouls too early on and put themselves into trouble earlier today and today.
Yeah, that's what we saw in that game for the Rivers Hoopers, with Will Perry getting less time than he's usually accustomedly used to in the BAL. But for this one, Chris Crawford with 4 fouls in the third quarter is really too early. But on the floor, you have George Williams and Marnawi, who can handle that ball with support from Ganouni.
Yeah, they're both players who can score different kinds of shots as Williams goes up. It's been made safe by Fofana. Good defensive play from the Ivorian.
But they've gone ice cold now from the field at US Monastir, and this change in defense has proved highly successful for Coach Bobby Gay.
Look, they've been hanging in the porch for too long now. Now they're in the living room and in their comfort zone.
Right in their favorite comfort zone, with their fan base helping them enjoy the comfort.
It's a warm atmosphere, to say the least.
Desert warm.
Well, you talk about warm. Come on, it is the Sahara Conference. We are literally in the Sahara Desert.
We are in the Sahara Desert, and I wanted to ask you if you actually know anything about ergs and hamadas, Usher.
Well, to be honest, you as my champion will tell us more.
In it goes, Madden. Oh, it might not count. No, it won't count, in fact. But a little bit unlucky on that occasion.
Called for the clear out. And you just see at the bottom of the screen, they're trying to work around the arm of Marnawi, and maybe there might be a case for that being a tad harsh.
So a hamada is a rocky stone plateau that makes up the Sahara Desert, and the ergs, they're seas of sand that have been windswept. It comes from the word in Arabic, arc, which means dune field. In it goes! A big three-pointer in the corner from that man, Marnawi.
He is shooting the ball magnificently well throughout this conference, and he continues to make it rain from the outside.
That was a little bit too close for comfort and difficult for Diakite to get hold of. They got a 6-point lead here, and look at that, 38% now for three-pointers for US Monastir.
44% from the three-point line for Marnawi. That's his 11th three-pointer in the conference.
Ganouni drives into the paint. It goes out to Marnawi again. Oh, wow! Hit the corner three, Marnawi.
Second time we've seen him in 2 games. He goes back-to-back on the catch and shoot, and when he hits one, need to get a man on him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's into double figures now as Wasi goes up, tries to get the points. It's been flung into the hands of Ganoui. Goes up. That is very, very smooth from that man, Ganoui.
And again, Ganouni he gets up ahead of everybody in transition. 9 big points, and maybe now some concern on the bench of AS Douanes.
Christo Vekbar is there. Fofana. Wasi 1:18 left to play, and look, all of a sudden it's an 11-point lead. They made it. They were back to 3, and they can't seem to get their shots. And all of a sudden, US Monastir, they're fired up. They're feeling very confident because they've just put the lid on the Dakar arena.
They get out in transition. They do it 2 ways. The best way to break up a zone is to shoot your way out the zone. Marnawi does that, and they do it in transition. Find him a look in the seams, and he slices the defense with accurate shooting.
There we go, a total reaction from the desert heat that we're feeling coming off the Sahara, Usher.
Well, I can tell you that the AS Douanes bench is feeling the pressure here, but they have to stay calm and trust the players on the court to play defense here in this last minute of this game.
Oh, it's gone out of play, little touch, so they will pick up possession on the sideline over on that far side. Ganouni. Marnawi. Important play. Williams goes up, tries to find his shot. It's Haruna. 13 points for Haruna. A big 3 for Haruna would change things around. Well, that was Gayaza stopping him from climbing up and getting the points.
Well, what he did well is make sure that there is no legitimate shot attempt as he blocks the ball out, but he does that illegally, and he gets a hand on Haruna trying to slide baseline. He gets right into the body of Gayaza for a hard foul.
We're straight up to the free throw line. So don't forget about the ergs and the hamada, okay?
I definitely haven't, and it was so wonderfully described.
Ten-point lead, 37.1 seconds remaining. Haruna.
72% throughout conference play from the free throw line. He makes both.
Crawford watches on. When do you bring Chris Crawford back on? Do you need to bring Chris Crawford back on?
Probably later in the fourth quarter if you're gambling early in the fourth.
Marnaoui, shot clock is down to 10 seconds, 23, so there's about a 13-second differential. Marnaoui uses the clock, goes high. Leani snatches it out of the sky. Beautifully done there. And they go get the ball back, and they can play out the last play before the end of the third quarter.
Big rebound by Leani.
Oh, they get possession, and this is an important play. Williams claims that, well, it came off the foot. And he's staking his claim. It's not going to happen. AS Douanes with Jean-Jacques Boissy. Let's have a look. Well, it did come off the foot of Boissy, but it came off the ankle of Williams at the last touch.
That is Coach Kirdani using his one coach's challenge, and it will be reviewed.
Well, it's important that he does review it. I mean, given the state of the game and the fact that they fought hard for that possession. But I think based on what we saw, we will wait for the referees to make the decision.
Oh, come on. Throw it out there, Q. Don't be shy. No, but the fact is, he's laughing next to me. The fact is that, you know, it's also a way to, and we talked about this, to just slow things down and stop, you know, the flow. And if they see that AS Douanes are doing some good things, you know, it breaks up their game, you know. It's also used for that reason.
The possession given up means that AS Douanes will have the last shot of this quarter, and they have a chance now. And you know, coach's challenge is being utilized to get the strategy together as well, and they'll set something up. And on the other side, they would have done the same thing. They would have wanted to get the ball back.
The decision has been made, and the challenge is unsuccessful for Coach Kirdani. AS Douanes will remain with the ball.
That's what I wanted to say.
I love it. I love the synergy between us. It is, you know, just it's straight out of the top drawer.
Q is a man that can read minds.
Got to get the shot in. 2 seconds. Boissy goes charging. Oh, he gets fouled by Marnaoui, I think. Let's. I think he gets fouled by Marnaoui.
Well, I think what they are going to try and have a look at is when the foul call was made.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe the shot clock, and we've reached 0 seconds, and there was no foul until afterwards. We'll have to wait and see. We'll let the professionals do the job.
So it's
with Usher. Usher, I mean. That's right. He's the professional.
Robbie, I see you.
I see you too. 49-58. Important moment.
Now again, the look at when the whistle was blown and when the call comes in, I suppose.
But also look at the lights come up on the backboard, of course.
Marnaoui only has one foul. This might be.
Yeah, but they got 5 team fouls.
A continuation.
They'll go to the free throw. Yeah, so it could be 2 shots or nothing.
Boissy was fouled with 0.6 seconds on the clock, so he will have shooting 2 on the free throw line.
Wonderful news for Boissy and AS Douanes. Not so good news for Kirdani and US Monastir.
An opportunity for them to just make further inroads into this lead. It's been a touch and go for AS Douanes in the third quarter, but they fought really hard. 1 of 4 so far. Boissy from the free throw line.
2 of 5. An important time, an important time. So 0.7 seconds left to play after this. And that's the end of the quarter. Nothing else happens. He doesn't get his second shot. And we have an 8-point lead. US Monastir 58, AS Douanes 50. Dakar Arena, and the battle continues into the fourth quarter. We look at the game's summary, Q.
Well, US Monastir definitely doing a better job of sharing the basketball. 18 assists to the 8 of AS Douanes. They've also shot the ball better from the perimeter than they've had to shoot against the 2-3 zone that was thrown against them, 7 of 18. And AS Douanes, they hope that they can improve their shooting percentages with that 37% from the field and 2 of 13 from the three-point line throughout the first 3 quarters of this intriguing contest.
An intriguing contest. Usher, how intriguing is it?
Well, I can tell you that Coach Kirdani is not impressed with that third quarter performance for US Monastir. They only managed to make 10 points. But what is intriguing is he wants that fourth quarter to be perfect. He wants the players that came out of that third quarter to start up before he can bring back Majok and Crawford to finish up the business end of the game.
So Majok is only on 2 fouls. That's not the reason why he's off. It's just a question of matchups and sort of, you know, preservation to a certain extent, because he's, you know, he's not 20. So you need to look after your crown jewels. And Crawford, of course, on 4 fouls. Ganuni out into the path of George Williams. George Williams goes up. That is sublime, but it doesn't go in. Maddox makes it safe. Boissy picks it up.
A rare opportunity missed from close range by Williams as he gets inside the zone.
Boissy bides his time, intelligently goes up over the top, comes back, and, well, he doesn't get his range. A little bit frustrating, that was.
Boissy has been frustrated throughout. He's really struggled with his percentages from the field. It's not a bad shot, it just doesn't go down.
8 points for Boissy. Williams, Ganuni goes around Adami, who's getting his first minutes on court. Well, there it is. It's been picked up. No, almost up. Madden. It's the big dunk for Madden.
That might be what AS Douanes need to spark their offense and lead them to try and get back into this one and level up the game.
You get a fuego from Sparks, it's always going to happen. Charging into the paint, the ball comes out of the hands, and Diakite. Does he make contact? And we're just waiting until I think the ball just flew out of his hands.
Well, another look at the work defensively from Madut, and that's excellence as he gets up for a big 2 to start off this offense the right way for AS Douanes.
6-point game in the fourth quarter. Manawi, Ganuni in the corner. It's a little bit too short. Dayaza couldn't get his hands on it. Nearly touched the net, in fact.
They would have wanted a score on that possession just because of what this dunk has done. You feel what the crowd's starting to get back in it.
Flung out to Fofana for 3. No one there for the rebound. Didn't go into the paint to try and collect that. Quite happy just shooting and hoping that it does go in, but they need to really make sure that they have cover as well to try and get those second chance points. Williams, Adami, Tunisian international, Marnawi, shot clock down to 2 seconds. It's a steal, and it's Haruna! Haruna hits a big 3.
How many times have we seen the steal and the pull-up 3, and that again, amazing shooting from Haruna.
Ganuni, US Monastir, now the fans, now they've triggered. Now we won't be able to hear Usher very well because of the noise. Usher, please tell us you're still there. Oh, look at the reaction shot there from Marnawi.
That is big-time shooting. Marnawi hits an important 3. A little bit of silence in the crowd.
I'm going to take a temperature check with Usher to see if she can still hear us.
Yes, I can definitely still hear you. The thing here with the AS Douanes is that they need to continue to choose their shots very carefully, as we see Haruna going down there and shooting under a lot of pressure.
And that's Haruna pulling up again. It's the confidence, but also the precision. And on the other side, sharp shooting. Marnawi hits his 3rd 3 from the same spot. Marnawi, 13 threes for US Monastir. Has been great from the outside.
6 points, but US Monastir still keeping AS Douanes at arm's reach. They've never been in the lead in this encounter, AS Douanes, since tip-off. Another long shot, flapped away, picked up by Boissy. The acceleration tries to go around Marnawi, and that is foul on Boissy. Marnawi trying to defend himself.
You look at the hand goes right on Boissy's, and you can see from the call, the correct call, contact. Boissy has got to make some big shots here at the free throw line. It's been a struggle.
Foul number 3 for Marnawi. First shot not good for Boissy. These are the critical and vital times where the points need to go up on the scoreboard, Usher.
This is very frustrating for Boissy. He knows he has to be 100% on the free throw line, but he gets the second one and they stay within touching distance of Monastir. 5-point game.
50% at the free throw line for the last 2 attempts. Wow. Oh my. Now everything's just creeping into the US Monastir's game now. They've got to keep cool.
The contact there with Firas Layani has been called out by referee Natasha Onono.
See the contact there, he just moves into Boissy, you know, it's a little bit of a shimmy. Should keep that for the dance floor.
But that was a little bit of a sell, and it was picked up and sold, and the foul is called.
Goes over the top and attempts, he can't get that hook from Diakite. Picked up by Crawford. Crawford's on the floor. Of course he's going to come on the floor. 5-point game. Here he is going on a charge. Tries to use the glass. Oh my, that is just world class, isn't it?
Absolutely cool under pressure. Cool as a cucumber. Christopher Crawford.
Big 2 points there, and they move up to 7. It's opened up for Boissy. Tries to get the ball out wide. Claims that there was contact. It's not going to happen though.
The difference it makes having Majok inside the paint, back on the floor. You look at the work here from Chris Crawford as he caresses that one in. On the other side, it's the presence of the big man who forces the turnover.
Crawford off the back of a very important score as he glided and soared into the paint to produce 2 points. Layani picks it up, looks for support, looks for the pass, gets it back, player down, offensive foul. And just get to see if Haruna's okay.
Well, now there's a contestation from the players on the floor, and Haruna goes in, and there's a touch on the face of Haruna. Third personal foul for Firas Layani.
Six minutes remaining. 7-point game. AS Douanes in possession again. Still looking to try and come down. Trailed by 17 at one point. Haruna goes for 3. It's a little bit short. Al-Khaliandor picks it up. Haruna goes again. Oh, Marnawi doing well to get hold of the ball, and there's contact.
Technical foul called now.
Yeah, he shouldn't have kicked that ball away. It's just one of those little moments where you just don't need to do that.
It is frustrating there for Marnawi as he gets that technical foul. The referees will not have any of it today.
And it's Kanuni who kicks the ball away, and he picks up the technical foul. And it's going to be one shot, but you don't like to see this from veteran players in pressure situations.
Yeah, but they get possession back. And that's going to be important for them because, you know, and he gets the shot, 6-point game. Now you can make it, you can chop it down, you know, 2 or 3.
15 foul for US Monastir.
And we're not even at the halfway mark of this final 4th quarter. Diakite, this is the player you want in the paint. or Haruna on the outside, goes through the middle, tries to find his way around. Wow, look at that from Majok. Swat and stay out, big time.
Well, that's big time defense from Majok coming in on the help, but they can't keep the position. It still stays with AS Douanes. Look at the work from both Marnaoui and Majok.
That is a monster block, isn't it?
Majestic Majok inside.
When he hunts you down and chases you down, you know, you're just looking around going, what on earth happened there? That was like tsunami size.
Yeah, he is monstrous, scary inside the paint because he still has this leaping ability along with his length.
Wonderful athlete. Possession back in the hands of AS Douanes. They go again. 6 points separate these two teams. And they got 3.5 seconds to try and score. He goes up, it's been flung up in the air. Majok does a double dose of magic on Majok on Ahly and Douanes.
Again, another big defensive play. Can they convert on the offensive side here?
And foul going against US Monastir on this occasion. Look at that.
Wow. That's just amazing work on the defensive end. And the frequency of the referee's whistle has gone up here. You look at the touch foul from Ahly and Douanes on that side.
Here's Leani back out. Marnaoui, Chris Crawford in possession. Shot clock down to 5. Marnaoui shoots for 3. And that's gone out of bounds, and it will be Douanes who pick up possession. 5 minutes remaining. A little lull in activity here, Usher, and you get the impression that there's more tension in the air than we think.
There is more tension. You can see from the crowd. They're a little bit, you know, quiet and waiting for that moment just to be sparked into action.
Charging into the paint, Diakite up against Majok.
It's called for the holding foul. They talked about the frequency of the whistle, and almost every time you see a player attack now, we are seeing a whistle getting blown, and that's going to send them to the free throw line once again.
And a timeout called, of course, 63-57. We will be back. Adama Diakite walks up to the strip. He's going to try and reduce this 6-point lead to 4. If he gets these 2 shots. US Monastir still ahead. Such a tight tussle. They're on 5 team fouls. US Monastir, AS Douanes on 1. Usher, what came from the timeout?
Well, Coach Papigay wants the players to continue to drive into that paint and get those fouls because US Monastir is in foul trouble. And they could go to the charity line, but they need to make it count. Adama Diakite misses the first one. They'll be hoping he makes the second.
Well, the free throw line is very important. We've seen it, and he does get the second to fall. 21 of 31 from the free throw line.
Leani, Marnaoui. Leani down into the corner. Marnaoui passing the ball around. Crawford picks it up, drops it to Leani. Leani in space. Oh, he tries to get the pass to the big man Majok, but it's been stopped as Ahly and Douanes picks up possession. Haruna drives in. Oh, he's just run out of space there. That probably wasn't the right thing to do. It's been set up for Leani, and the no foul. They get away with it. They pick up and they turn the ball over and get back possession.
A couple of poor decisions from US Monastir on the offensive side. The last 2 possessions.
Matter. Ahly and Douanes. Haruna on the outside. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. Got to go for your shot. Your shot comes in. It's not fallen. Diakite does well, and he tries to get it. It's been tipped up in the air. It's been picked up. Oh, that's great work from Madud. He doesn't manage to get it off the glass. Fofana's in possession. Shot clock down to 6 now, and Haruna's got to go for the shot. Goes up high, comes off the front rim. Leani with the rebound. No score.
4 bites of the cherry and still couldn't get the finish.
Oh, Crawford. That is just sensational.
Versatility is what Chris Crawford offers. Doesn't matter if you force him left or right. It doesn't matter if it's a transition or a pull-up, but he gets a very important finish for US Monastir. In between 3 defenders, and he still finds a way to manufacture a shot and get the bucket.
And draws the foul as well, hence the reason why he's going up to the free throw line. It's a 3-point play. Of course, he got tangled up as he weaved between. He's just got that sensational ability of just having that soft touch and still having enough force to just get the ball off the glass and in. Usher, he's an incredible player, isn't he? And he's now up to 14 points.
Yeah, he is for up to 14 points, but really the leader that they need on the court as they look to see through this game against the home side. They've managed to keep the crowd quiet for now, but there's 3 more minutes to play.
8 points in the lead. Al-Khaliandour, Diakite. Major very vocal. Haruna trying to get hold of the possession. He will regain possession here despite the Gaduni touch.
Pressure on everyone, especially the AS2-1 offense on this possession.
Khaliandour goes around the outside trying to get rid of Marnawi. He goes up, can't get his shots, and it's frustrating for AS2-1. Very frustrating.
And that's a great defensive possession for US Monastir. They forced a shot clock violation, and that's why there's a break in play. And it's tense times and important that US Monastir get a score here to just create the separation, potentially take them to a 10-point game.
Pabi Gay. Paces up and down the sideline, knowing that, well, victory is slipping away, but there's still hope. There's still the opportunity. Lil Dang watches on, following the Sahara Conference here. BAL ambassador. And NBA basketball legend, Marnawi Leani. Back over, shot clock down to 7. Marnawi. Oh, use the glass. That's a big bucket as well. Marnawi up to 16 points.
He gets his 4th three-pointer on 11 attempts. It's important now as they get the lead up over double digits.
Well, that's a big score at a vital time. Into the corner they go, Madden. He goes very quick and very fast, but he's unable to get past that Monastir defense. Crawford puts it up. Leani can't get into... He's trying to go around the back of Haruna, and Haruna has actually fouled, and he's trying to defend himself, but there was contact.
Crawford trying to be too inventive, and there is the ball that falls into Leani's hands, and now there's, it looks like there's a coach's challenge as you have a look at the shot from Marnawi that goes in. And they can challenge for possession, and they have challenged for possession. Haruna has asked his coach to make a call.
I'll just give the players time and the coaches a little moment to actually try and work out a game plan. But as I said, AS2-1 are in hot water here, aren't they? Because they've been given numerous opportunities to clamber back into this battle with US Monastir, but each time they haven't managed to deal with it, and they haven't secured those vital points.
And the points are even more vital. I think we can start talking about the 76-59 win at AS2-1, and that's a 16-point differential. Right now, 11. Look at again, and I do think it comes right off the hands of Yaman Layani. So we should get a successful coach's challenge. We should. And that's important looking at the 16-point differential in the head-to-head, because this tie is going to be important in terms of everything on the floor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a massive points differential, of course, and it puts them in a position where, you know, will we need to keep an eye on it.
We definitely do. It'll play into the final day scenarios if the result stays the same at this point.
No, but you know, nothing's done. If US Monastir do win today, they've still got to also win tomorrow.
And then the goal differential between the three teams will become, there's a lot that can happen in terms of scenarios, and too early to really say what the scenarios look like.
A US Monastir victory today will ensure that Rivers Hoopers will finish in top spot.
That's for sure.
Here we go with Boissy back on the floor. Need to get points, need to get them quite quick. 1:50 left to play. Madder charges through, gets the ball out, there's contact, and Leani is the player who just moved out of his lane. He's on 4 fouls now, Leani. But it's straight to the free throw line, so every single moment when they're charging through, if they can draw attention, then they can get free throw shots. Usher, is that the tactic that's being implemented by Papi Gay?
Yeah, Papi Gay, he wants really for them to make sure they cut down on this lead, because you remember they won by 17 points in that first round fixture, and they should make sure that even if they lose today, the numbers look good on their side.
Leani. Crawford. Crawford goes around Madden, swings it back to Leani. 5 seconds to go, and that is Crawford hitting the three.
Well, he knows what a big shot that is, and they've definitely got awareness of the score differential. It shows in the way that they're playing right now.
13 points. 13 points as Boissy. Boissy goes down. It comes out wide, flung down into the corner. 3 points for Madden. Oh, wow.
That's a big-time make, especially in the context of what's going on behind the scenes and the composure here from Madden to make a big three.
Marnaoui into the hands of Leani, uses his strength to hold it. Need to get points, they need to get points, they need to try and reverse that scenario. Of course, it goes over the top. There's the chance. It's a great cover there from Majok to make sure the two were on the board.
Important score, still working to try and keep that differential.
That is sensational. That is a great score there from Boissy. Still stayed up in the air and managed to get his shot in despite coming up against one of the biggest guys.
He froze Majok on the defensive side and went right up, over, and in. Just that little bit of hesitation, and I think they call the contact.
He's going straight to the free throw line as well, and that's 4 fouls. Not that it really matters at this point, 44 seconds. Oh, the rebound from Diakite. Brilliant job there. He's up to 14 points. 40 seconds remaining. Ganuni. Leani was ghosting down into the corner. They don't quickly react. 12-point lead. Leani. Well, that was going out of play. So they've given the ball back to AS Douanes, and that's just a wasted pass from Leani.
It is. It's an important touch on the basketball, and once again, I think there is a timeout called on the floor. 74-66 the score. Timeout is called by US Monastir.
.1 seconds to play. An official review to see who had the last, there you go, or whether or not it was touched by Boissy. Like it was Leani who just literally tried to go down the lane and went straight out of play. And
difficult to tell from that angle, really.
You always say that, come on.
But it really is.
It touched Kingsley Ojaburu of Nigeria, but there you go, that angle there, well, It is a tough angle. We'll let the pros get on, do their business.
We can't see the depth perception, and the touching from the certain angle makes it a little bit difficult.
Have you never heard of 5D?
No.
Usher does. Usher knows about 3D, 4D, 5D. He's all over it. But we're going to get the reaction, and it was going straight out. There was no contact from Boissy, and it will be AS Douanes who get possession. It's Monastir who have still in the lead here by 8. 23.1 seconds remaining.
Well, that plus 17 scoreline, plus 16 ties, it's important here for AS Douanes, and I'm sure we'll see them take as much time off the clock as possible. So, because it was a coach's challenge, now they're questioning the advancement of the basketball because it was an out of bounds on a coach's challenge. They can't advance the ball, and that's really what's happening here on the floor. And now a timeout is called, so they can advance the ball, and it's going to give Pabige a chance to have another conversation with his team.
Well, 23.1 seconds. And Pabige, these conversations, they're quite important, okay? Because if you look at the final, AS Douanes will take on APR. We know what happened to APR yesterday, earlier today. They lost.
Yes, they lost.
So both teams will potentially be on 2 wins each. US Monastir are on 2 wins if they win this one. 3 teams
on
2 wins, with just Rivers Hoopers with 4 wins. So differential comes into the equation.
When we have a look at what has transpired, Crawford's 18 leads the US Monastir team, and 19 from that man Haruna, and 3 of 11 shooting has been okay. He's been great from the free throw line. Diakite's 14 and 9, and Firas Layani's 9 and 10. Stats that work well. 4 players in double digits for AS Douanes. And George Williams gone a bit quiet here in the second half for US Monastir.
Usher, what was the, what are we getting from the play? We'll have to...
Well,
what's going to happen now? Come on, fill us in with the details. You know.
Well, we've seen AS Douanes do this before, shoot under pressure. They'll still try to do the same thing today, get a 2 or even just a 3 to make sure they reduce on that deficit. We've spoken about the points differential and how they beat US Monastir by 17 points in that first game. So if they can lose less than that, it could go a long way in getting them in a good position tomorrow.
And they go for Haruna for a big 3 from downtown. Back out, opportunity, another 3, it goes in. Fofana, oh, Fofana, he does it, he knows what to do. Diakite stopping the Diakite stopping.
Well, that's a big shot from Mike Fofana. He understands the context of what he's trying to do. He makes the 3, and now conversation again. You look at Fofana's footwork as he catches and shoots, and that's pure poetry.
5 points separate these 2 teams, 13.8 seconds. So he's going to make sure that everything... What's the call on this?
Well, they're going to review the video for a clock malfunction.
Okay. Don't worry, they're not going to add a few more minutes onto the time.
It's a question of seconds.
But 13.8 seconds. It's got to be pinpoint precision, and it's quite a good thing because you're off the back of a 3-point score for Pabige, who will be looking and saying, well, how are we going to do this? You know, what are we going to do? It will also give Coach Gadani the chance to understand exactly how he's going to play out these 13.8 seconds. Well, the next play, in fact.
And they always try to utilize these challenges or replays to try and set up strategy. It's an opportunity for the coaches to chat to their teams, and both coaches take advantage of these opportunities.
So regardless of the result tonight, we won't know if any of these two teams will qualify until tomorrow, which means that you've all got to come back and follow the final two games of the Sahara Conference between Rivers Hoopers and US Monastir, AS Douanes and API. Only the Rivers Hoopers have qualified so far. US Monastir still have a chance.
And it all hinges on the ability to win games, win or go home, or win, and you've got to check a couple of things as well, because that's what can happen on the final day of this Sahara Conference.
Hey, Asha, I love it when Q walks on eggshells.
And you can imagine what the result is at that point.
Oh my good gracious me. Timeout's been called by Coach Kadani, of course. Asha, we want to test the temperature on your side, because there's been a lot of communication. There's been a lot of communication between, you know, the coaches, with the table, with the officials, and also with the players. What's going on here? What is the game plan for AS Douanes?
Well, for AS Douanes, they just have to make sure that they can reduce this deficit as much as possible. Of course, it's 13.8 seconds on the clock. It should be changed to 11.8 seconds as per the guidance from Tyler Markovich, the crew chief of the referees on the floor.
Thank you. That's meticulously brought to us by Asha Umagisha. Thank you so much. 5 points and 11.7 seconds to play. Here we go. Clock's going up. No shot clock. It's just all about the final play, unless there's a whistle that's been blown. And it's Marnaoui who's in possession. They will be rigorously trying to score points, US Monastir. And it's AS Douanes who will try and defend this. There's a foul by Haruna. And of course, because they're only on two team fouls, they can foul for another couple of times if they want, and they won't go to the free throw line.
I think that's going to be the plan, to take as much time off the clock as possible.
Leani talking with Crawford, the tactics, where they're going to go, what they're going to do. 10.6 seconds.
I think more issues with the game clock and the time that's actually going to come off.
Coach Kadani linked up with US Monastir in April, the Egyptian. Kanuni takes the ball and will play out this play. 10.6 seconds remaining. Who's going to take the pass? Leani does. Leani. Foul on Leani. And how many? Just 1.5 seconds got taken off on that occasion. The next foul, and we go straight to the free throw line. Oh no, it's already the fifth, sorry.
That's the fifth, so they'll go to the free throw line now. Situational awareness.
No, I think it's yeah, it is the fifth, sorry. There we go.
Every single point matters.
Being brought on after a little chat with his coach. 8.7 seconds. US Monastir on the cusp of victory, on the cusp of one of the biggest recoveries in the history of BAL. This will be their second win, having lost their opening 3. Ahly gets the point, 1 of 2. Timeout's been called, 8.7 seconds.
You know, so they start to turn around the narrative because AS Douanes have had their number in the last 2 encounters, so they do pick up a win finally against the AS Douanes on their home floor.
That's true, and it was last season that AS Douanes managed to well, make life very complicated for US Monastir, as they didn't even make it to the finals in Kigali. They bowed out and went back to North Africa before they could even start to think about going to Rwanda, and this time they gained revenge over the locals.
Well, it's still 8.7 seconds, and this can be an eternity. I'm not sure if US Monastir are going to foul. I'm not sure if they're going to be fouls on the other side as well, as they try to extend the differential and make sure that that is a factor going into the last day.
Only Usher knows that.
I'll tell you that I know so many things, but let's just be patient, gentlemen, please.
75-69. AS Douanes. Here's Boissy in possession. Thomas needs to go for the shot. Oh, well, that's a traveling call. He just couldn't get the release the ball. Manawi just getting in his face, making it complicated. 5.1 seconds to play.
Timeout called again. Coach Cardani, I think he wants a long-range shot. He's going to try and pick up a 3. And I'm, again, uncertain if we're going to see a foul on the other side from Coach Papiguet and AS Douanes.
Well, who would you pick as your player to shoot? I'd probably give it to Manawi, the way that he's been playing. Crawford, he's on 18 points. He's hit 1 3-pointer, I think, but
one of those two. Crawford might just create the shot himself. You give the ball to him, you clear out, and you let him go to work. Or Marnawi on the feed if the defense traps and doesn't allow Crawford any sort of time and space. But I think they definitely try and foul.
Well, you don't have much time to shift the ball around to teammates. It really is going to be a lot of movement. And we'll see how AS Douanes deal with this. So you're surprised that US Monastir have battled back and are on the cusp of their second win out of having lost their first 3?
Absolutely not surprised. When you have veteran players on the court, on their team, especially Ater Majok and Chris Crawford, they're fighters. They know what it feels like to win. Majok, of course, winning in 2022 with them, just bringing back that spirit and saying, guys, it's not over. And we saw AS Douanes do this last year, lose the first 2 games and go on to win and qualify for Kigali.
It goes out for Chihuahua getting the shot in. It just doesn't fall, and that's the end of it. And as you can see, it is going to be a victory for US Monastir, 75-69. AS Douanes unable to get their 3rd win, but US Monastir getting their 2nd win, and they go into the final day still with a chance of qualifying, as do AS Douanes.
Absolutely. Now it is final day frenzy here in the Sahara Conference. It has been absolutely the most contested conference we've seen so far, and a big win for US Monastir, 75-69 over AS Douanes. 18 big Marcus Chris Crawford points, Marnawi 16 sharp shooting, and 22 points from that man Aruna. Not enough on the day to help spur AS Douanes to a win in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, that's you know, they had their moments, they had their times where they could actually clamber back and get themselves the win. They didn't manage to do it, and it happened on a few occasions because there were times where it's 4 points. That was the advantage, which wasn't much, but we can look. We've got Crawford on 18 points, and Marnawi with 16, Williams 13, 4 players with double figures. Leani getting a double-double, and on the other side, AS Douanes with Haruna, 22 points and 4 rebounds. Diakite 14 and 9. Not a single double-double there for AS Douanes, but a bit of a fight back, but they didn't manage to reel them back in.